people think that challenges at workplace come from processes failure or strategic failure. However, that is not the fact. Challenges at workplace are emanating from when people fail to connect with other people, communication failure, and people not ready to understand others. So that is the topic for today's podcast. I, Professor Ekta Chauhan, would like to welcome our expert faculty and guest today, Dr. Anju Chawla, who is a life coach, emotional intelligence coach, an entrepreneur, as well as a writer and she had more than 20 years of work experience, and she is our guest faculty for the podcast today. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you for being here and coming here for the discussion. Pleasure is on mine. Since you've been working with experts and you have trained and transformed the lives of more than 60,000 people by now, and the kind of insight that you bring into the table, I would like that you throw some light on uh, how would you like to explain that what is emotional intelligence in terms of how students understand in very simple manner. How you like to define emotional intelligence for our students? Sure. Though I'm not a definition for every person, still for the benefit of students, putting it simply, number one, knowing your emotion. Number two, using it to achieve your goal. That is intelligent. Generally, emotional intelligence is considered to be an oxymoron because emotions and intelligence, however, putting it in black and white, using your emotions by knowing what emotion you are going through towards reaching your goal is called emotional intelligence. Very nice. Very rightly said, ma'am. Since you just said that understanding your own emotion and knowing yourself comes first when you try to tackle your emotions. This time that we are living in, a lot of interruptions, a lot of innovations in terms of AI, digital, and the screens space that students are using right now. So, how would you think that what are the challenges these students might be facing in terms of, what kind of behavioral changes and the challenges that they face today? Indeed, a very interesting question. Number of challenges that these guys are facing. Starting is information overload. We are unabashedly calling this generation, or so called lovingly, we are calling this generation as Gen Z, thanks to the social media. But do we even realize how much pressure they are in to be updated on social media, to be consuming those datas that each of the service provider is throwing at them, the platforms, and not just the information overload. They also are facing a challenge, and that challenge is keeping up with the customs and the practices of their parents, which they don't understand. I mean, today's generation probably does not really understand the root from which these practices evolved from. And this generation has been gifted a voice. And this voice did not come to them automatically in the womb. This voice has been provided to them from the parents. The parents always told these these kids that, hey, you should opine, you should understand, you should comprehend. And now today, when they are comprehending, now today, when they are having so much of information overload, and then when they are giving us the views, they are facing the backlash from us saying, oh, you talk too much, you are a rebel. That's the challenge that they are facing. I feel strong. Okay, so it means that we are the one who have given them choices, and now we are the one who are judging them. Otherwise, not with the student, it is with the elder generation. Unapologetically, yes. Not that it takes one to clap. It certainly takes two to clap. But probably the first hand that needs to be there in the air to support it should be ours. Wonderful, ma'am. So, next, I would like this discussion to take that how this generation should start prepare early so that they are emotionally balanced and they don't face these kind of challenges in later stages of life where things are uncontrollable, where it leads to anxiety and negative emotions. Fantastic. A very powerful question here. Okay, ma'am. First thing, stop using those emojis to the extent that this generation uses. Stop using the shortcuts that this generation uses. Why? Because emojis are subject to the interpretation of the receiver. Also, it reduces the structuring of thoughts. And when the structuring of thoughts reduces, vocabulary is getting depleted. Without vocabulary, it is impossible to label the emotion. Forget about being self aware. You will only be aware, like, hey, I'm in pain. Where is the pain? You will never know. Why? Because you do not have the vocabulary that there is a stomach, there is a gallbladder, there is a spleen, and so on and so forth. So, yes, talk in sentences. If I have to give a thumb rule, please talk in sentences. Do not talk in shortcuts. Do not be so dependent on the emojis. Sounds a little funny, but in 21 years of my experience and in the last few workshops that I have specially held for this generation at IIT Guwahati and now at IIM Jammu, this has come up really like a pain point. Okay, so it means that people should not label their emotions, rather they should specify their emotion. They should go to find out where exact address the issue then and there. No, they need to label their emotion. And to be able to label their emotions, they need to, in general, speak in sentences and not those short cigaros. Short. Yes, not those shortcuts. Because those shortcuts are so much at the mercy of the interpreter. Hmm. Very nice, very nicely put, ma'am. So how their EI, how improving their emotional intelligence and how can we prepare them for their future careers and developing their skills? Interesting. Um, Indigo, the latest case going on, right? Even here, one of the organizations, Amazing Places to Work with, has clearly labeled that emotional intelligence is no more a nice to have skill. It was always required, always since the time of Vedas, it was required. Just that we were in our own ego set saying, hey, I am living in my body for last 22 years. Why do I need you to tell me what my emotions are? But today, thanks to the increase in the emotional vocabulary by different thinkers, this is no more a nice to have skill. This is a must to have skill. And how can it help the students? It will help the students to not only enter the system of making money or the ventures or whatever they call it, but also will give them the resilience to stay there, bounce forward each time, and empathize. Like it is said, Vaishnav Janto Tene Kahiye Je, Peer Parai Barai Hai. If you do not know the pain of other, you will never have empathy. Wonderful. If you do not have empathy, you will not have resilience. If you do not have resilience, you will not be emotionally intelligent. Wonderful. It was so wonderful to have you have app. So if we like to put it in short and in nutshell, the whole conversation that it first is that we should recognize our emotion, we should label our emotion, we should stop using emojis and start speaking in the fuller sentences, as well as parents should recognize and give uh, uh, a lot of boost to this kids to express themselves. And then as you just said, that emotional intelligence is not a luxury that you can have once a while. It is a must have skill, and then people should recognize their emotion and feel that they have emotion. Yeah, wonderful. That ma'am, I hope this discussion will bring some sense to our kids, as well as it will help them immensely to recognize their own emotion and the importance of being emotionally intelligent to be more empowered at their workplace. Thank you for being with us, and pleasure is all ours. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being with us.